all self-employed citizens are required to self-register, while all employers must register their employees within 30 days of employment and thereafter make the prescribed contributions. Remember, registration and contribution to the National Health Insurance is mandatory by law. Be compliant, pay on time to avoid prosecution without further notice. National Health Insurance, leaving no one behind.
Wow, that over there is a very nice Ford. Have you seen it?
Of course. I have been looking at it since we got here. My worry is how people manage such vehicles and where they buy genuine parts from.
I'm sure there's nowhere else apart from Shuma Auto Parts. They are the only supplier of genuine Ford and Mazda parts, which comes straight from the manufacturer. They have everything in stock for both latest and ordinary Mazda and Ford. They also stock service parts such as diesel filters, air con filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts info, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 060747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The Happy World of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM main news. The headlines. Emmanuel J. Banda in police custody after being discharged from hospital. Chief Justice bemoans the high level of interference by some traditional leaders in the court decisions. South Africa's Ramaphosa sworn in for second term. This news bulletin is also streaming live on the 5FM Facebook page and the YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, I'm Hebet Mutabi. Petauke Central Member of Parliament, Emmanuel J. Banda, has been discharged from Minasoko Medical Center and is currently in police custody. Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga says Mr. Banda was admitted to Minasoko Medical Center for medical treatment, and after receiving the necessary medical care and being deemed fit for discharge by the attending medical professionals, he was released from the medical center and taken into police custody. Mr. Hamonga has assured that the Zambia Police Service is committed to ensuring a thorough and transparent investigation.
The Zambia Police Service wishes to inform the public that Honorable J. Banda has been discharged from Minasoko Medical Center this morning. He is currently in police custody. Honorable J. Banda was admitted to Minasoko Medical Center for medical treatment. After receiving the necessary medical care and being deemed fit for discharge by the attending medical professionals, Honorable Banda was released from the medical center and taken into police custody. The Zambia Police Service is committed to ensuring a thorough and transparent investigations.
Chief Justice Mumba Malira has bemoaned the high level of interference by some traditional leaders in court decisions, especially those coming from the local and the subordinate courts. Speaking at a consultative meeting with traditional leaders convened by the judiciary aimed at finding a lasting solution to some challenges that come between the two institutions' work, Justice Malira says some chiefs have in many instances directed their subjects to ignore court decisions, while in some other circumstances they have detected which cases should be dealt with by the courts, and also threatened to chase court officials from their chiefdoms. Justice Malira observes that such actions are contemptuous and make the work of court officials difficult, as they find it awkward to cite a traditional leader for contempt of court, hence the need for them to begin respecting all court decisions or follow the right procedure to register their dissatisfaction. Meanwhile, the judiciary has proposed for the formation of an institution under the House of Chiefs to deal with the traditional leadership disputes and other traditional matters as a way of avoiding the court processes, which sometimes are too long and the courts may not be the right institutions to deal with them.
All courts must enjoy functional independence. This provision has very serious ramifications. It prohibits everyone, including our traditional authorities, or indeed any government authority, from interfering in the exercise of judicial functions. So you, as chiefs, are properly mandated by the law to discharge the traditional authority and in so doing, leave judicial functions to the courts to perform. Some traditional leaders summon local court staff and demand that they enforce the decisions made by traditional.
And responding to the Chief Justice's observation, Chief Mazimawe of Eastern Province has welcomed the proposed introduction of a chamber under the House of Chiefs to deal with leadership wrangles, saying it has always been the desire of chiefs in the country for them to deal with their own matters as opposed to leaving them to the courts.
We'll be making further proposals in that regard so that we can fast forward and have such an institution put in place so that it can begin to look at issues to do with succession wrangles. So I think it's a welcome move. We are delighted that it's coming from the Chief Justice, because we thought maybe they were not going to entertain these ideas.
Green Economy and Environment Minister Mike Mposha has called for close collaboration between Zambia and Italy in sustainable forest management, recycling of waste, capacity building of officers, climate change mitigation and adaptation. Mr. Mposha was speaking when Italian ambassador to Zambia and Malawi, Enrio de Agostini, paid a courtesy on him at the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment. The minister appealed to Italy for support towards the protection of forests. He says that the ministry's potential areas for collaboration with Italy include sustainable forest management using technology for inventories and data collection, forest enterprise development with value addition to forest products, and plantation establishment. The minister and ambassador agreed on the need to quicken the signing of the extension of the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between Zambia and Italy on climate change.
We look forward to collaborating with your government for the mutual benefit of our people. And when you talk about forest, one of the bigger concerns is we are talking about protection of the forest, protection of the trees in there. But I think that I was chatting with PS on the fact that we need to see how we can get what we used to have in the past, the rangers to protect these forests.
And Ambassador Agostini expressed optimism that Zambia's economy will significantly grow in the next decade in light of the opening up of the Lobito corridor.
We have just announced that the G7 that just took place in Italy, you know that Italy has the presidency of G7 this year. We have just announced an investment of $320 million, yes, in the development of Lobito. We have to make sure that this investment is not just in infrastructural development, but also in the mitigation of the effects that the building of such infrastructure.
American technology giant Google has entered the Zambian market to revolutionize the information and communication technology ICT sector following incentives given by the government. Google, through its subsidiary Google Cloud, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Technology and Science, which will see the construction of a center of excellence in digital transformation, innovation, offering skills development and knowledge sharing. Speaking at the signing ceremony in Osaka, Technology and Science Minister Felix Mutati has disclosed that the incentives given to the private sector have played a key role in compelling Google to invest in Zambia. He also disclosed that since the incentives were given a year ago, internet penetration has risen from 53% to 64%. Mr. Mutati says in the last 1 year alone, the private sector has laid 5,000 kilometers of fiber optic, which brings the total to 25,000 kilometers of fiber optic laid since Zambia got its independence in 1964. This has significantly increased internet penetration.
What we have seen so far in the last 1 year is that internet penetration has moved from 52.3 to 64%, and we think that is important. The DG sector, working with government, has provided to enable the telcos to expand. And last year we saw 5G entering Zambia.
And Google Cloud Director, Global Strategic Initiatives, Manuel Grisinga, said that the company is connecting Zambia to Umoja, a fiber optic project which will run from Kenya through South Africa to Australia. Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu this morning represented President Hakainde Hichilema at the inauguration ceremony of South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. The inauguration of Mr. Ramaphosa took place at the Union Buildings in Pretoria following his re-election by Parliament on Friday, June 14th, 2024, and was sworn in by Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. Mr. Mwimbu was accompanied by Deputy Secretary to Cabinet, Dr. Oliver Kalabo, and Permanent Secretary, Special Duties at Cabinet Office, Patrick Muchereka. South Africa's National Assembly, during its first sitting of the 7th Parliament, re-elected Mr. Ramaphosa as the President of the Republic of South Africa for a second term. He was elected with 283 votes against economic freedom fighters Julius Malema, who garnered 44 votes. This is according to a statement issued by the First Secretary for Press and Public Relations at the Zambian High Commission in South Africa, Tamara Nyirenda. In other news trending this evening, government, through the Ministry of Health, has dispelled a fake alert of an alleged typhoid outbreak in Lusaka. Socialist Party leader Fred Membe has expressed a disappointment over President Hakainde Hichilema's decision to leave the country during ongoing crises. Up next, business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In business news, the Online Taxi Drivers Association of Zambia, OTDAZ, has called on government to improve taxi apps operating conditions to benefit and safeguard the lives of drivers. Speaking during a media briefing today, Association President Lucas Chanda says drivers should be allowed to see upfront the destinations of the clients before pickup. He states that this will allow for drivers to decide on whether it is safe to respond to the call or not. Mr. Chanda has further called on government to restrict taxi apps that are not registered under relevant authorities in order to not affect other businesses.
Displaying the destination and the corresponding fare to online taxi drivers. We therefore request displaying the destination, the corresponding fare to online drivers before a ride is a fundamental practice to ride-sharing platforms, and the corresponding fare to online drivers before they accept a ride is a fundamental should be practiced to all platforms. Drivers should be shown where the destination they are going to.
Meanwhile, Lusaka District Commissioner Rosa Zulu says the government is working hard to protect the drivers. She revealed that solutions to the issues raised are being put in place and the relevant authorities are being engaged.
When we come here, we should talk and wait for the solution. We are not going to get the solution just today. And you know what? When I met you, I think you have the confidence in your team. Yes. They came. You remember what I said at the funeral at the grave site? I said, "Can I have your leadership?"
Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and info. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In foreign news, South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa has been sworn in for a second full term in office as president, despite failing to secure a majority in parliament in last month's election for his African National Congress, ANC. Lawmakers re-elected him as president last week following a deal between the ANC, its long-time rival Democratic Alliance, and other parties to form a coalition government. The ANC, which has governed since the end of apartheid in 1994, lost its majority for the first time after the 29th May election produced no outright winner. In sports news, Luke Shaw was the only player absent from the England training area as Gareth Southgate's side prepared to face Denmark on Thursday. The Three Lions got their tournament underway on Sunday as Jude Bellingham's Etihad secured a 1-0 win over Serbia. And now head to Frankfurt looking to seal progress to the knockout phase by beating Denmark, whom they defeated in the Euro 2020 semi-finals. Here now is the evening weather report. Stay tuned.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 1700 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Most parts of Zambia mainly clear, slightly windy and mild to cool. Ends the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the top stories. Emmanuel J. Banda in police custody after being discharged from hospital. Chief Justice bemoans the high level of interference by some traditional leaders in the court decisions. South Africa's Ramaphosa sworn in for second term. For more news, book 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Herbert Mutabi.